Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm showcasing a really strong, flexible team popularized by FP Sticks, and Zionic, who used Tangrowth instead of Venusaur. The team is Empoleon Lead, Gallade Safe Swap, and Venusaur Cover. Both versions, in my opinion, use the best Pokemon for Ultra Premier Cup, and that is Empoleon. It has a great defensive typing with Water and Steel, and amazing coverage charge moves with Waterfall, Hydro Cannon, and Drill Peck. It has enough defense and stamina to tank super effective moves, and 160 attack that synergizes well with the fast move pressure from Waterfall and the high damage per energy of Hydro Cannon. In this video, I will go over the team overview, the strategies that I use while battling with this team, what to do under most common lead scenarios, and a set of battles, including 2 against legend-ranked players. Empoleon on the lead catches Skarmory, Charizard, and Dragonite, and can hit everything for neutral damage. It is only weak to Electric, Fighting, and Ground, and resists 11 types, making it an amazing lead and safe switch. Venusaur covers Empoleon's weaknesses by resisting Fighting and Electric, and dealing super effective damage to Ground. Gallade acts as the pivot/safe swap, dealing super effective damage to Fighting and Ground types, and doing okay against Electric types. Empoleon and Venusaur cover the Gallade from Fairy types such as Clefable and Togekiss. Something to note is that Venusaur and Gallade share a double weakness to flying types like Skarmory and Drifblim. However, Dragonite and Charizard are so frail that a close combat will draw shields. Because of this, if I see something in the lead that makes sense to have a flying type in the back, e.g. Umbreon, I will swap into a Gallade once they are low enough to either be taken out by a close combat, Leaf Blades, or the Confusions alone. Facing a Dragonite lead, I stay in. Because Dragonite commonly has Charizard in the back, I throw a Drill Peck until they absorb one, and then swap into Gallade. The Dragonite will be low enough to be taken out with Confusions alone. Magnezone lead is tricky because Gallade and Empoleon lose to it. However, Gallade barely wins to the Zero Shield. So what I like to do in this situation is swapping to Gallade, playing out the Zero Shield scenario, either taking out the Magnezone or getting shield advantage and coming in with Venusaur to clean up. Empoleon wins the 1 shield against regular and XL Umbreon. However, it is not uncommon for an Umbreon to have Charizard in the back. So, I throw a Hydro Cannon, tank the first foul play, and then swap into Gallade. The Umbreon will be low enough that one close combat will KO. In case of an Abomasnow lead, stay in and throw Drill Pecks, shielding the first move. Abomasnows almost never bait the first move. Just like that, you flipped the matchup. However, if it is XL and above 2362 CP, stay in until they have tanked a Drill Peck. Then swap to Gallade. In the first match here, I'm going against a legend-ranked player, Trainer Raki. So, my opponent leads an XL Abomasnow. This is a slightly losing matchup for Empoleon, but it's a lot less close if I correctly shield an Energy Ball. So, I do shield the first move that comes through. Unfortunately, my opponent gets an extra Powder Snow through during my charge move, which is unfortunate. So I'm keeping in mind all of this, and I'm going to tank this Energy Ball now. It puts me in the yellow, and I overfarm just a little bit, and then go for a Drill Peck. This does get my opponent shield, so I'm getting ready to swap into my Venusaur. And I do swap at the perfect time, counting my opponent's charge moves, fast moves, and I catch a double resisted Energy Ball onto my Venusaur. they respond with a Gengar. So I go for Frenzy Plant onto the Gengar, and it does a lot of damage, but it doesn't warrant a shield. And then my opponent goes for Sludge Bomb, which takes out my Venusaur. So I'm going to come in with my Gallade, and this is pretty much my last Pokemon left, because my Empoleon is at very little HP. So I'm going to shield a Shadow Punch and farm it down. So my opponent's last Pokemon is a Gyarados. So this is pretty tricky because my opponent has a shield, and they get to a move before I can get my Leaf Blade off, which is pretty unfortunate. It is the Aqua Tail, and as I'm tapping on the Leaf Blade, my opponent actually swaps into their Abomasnow. So I'm immediately swapping into my Empoleon now, but my opponent gets to another charge move before I can get to my Drill Peck. It is only an Aqua Tail. I barely survive, so I'm able to get to the Drill Peck. Is it enough to KO? It is not enough to KO. I come in with my Gallade and I get lots of lag, but I'm just able to take out the Gyarados at 1 HP and a Dream. Good game and well played. In this match, against another Legend Rank player, my opponent leads Charizard. They immediately swap into their Umbreon. So this is actually a level 51 best buddied Umbreon, which is SSS, and that actually beats my Venusaur, because the Foul Plays do about as much damage as my Frenzy Plants do, but my opponent gets to their Foul Plays faster. So I'm just going to output as much damage as I possibly can onto this Umbreon. It puts it in the red, but they do throw another Foul Play. I'm letting my Venusaur go down because I know that I can come in with my Empoleon and farm the Umbreon completely down. I have a Hydro Cannon stored. And my opponent comes in with an Obstagoon. So this is really horrible because Obstagoon is a counter user, which it does super effective damage to my Empoleon, but I have a plan. I'm going to go for this close combat, and it's most likely going to warrant a shield. It does, and an extra confusion goes through, which allows me to shield once on my Empoleon and completely farm down the Charizard. It is a Blast Burn, and I completely farm down the Charizard. I have just a bit over 2 Hydro Cannons stored. And this is an amazing thing that I just love about Empoleon. Its attack, defense, and stamina are just so that they deal almost as much damage as Empoleon is taking. So my opponent goes for a charge move, and it's a Night Slash, and I just barely survive at 1 HP. Unfortunately, even though I have 2 Hydro Cannons stacked, my opponent got a fast move through on my charge move. So it takes out my Empoleon. Good game and well played. In this match, my opponent leads Dragonite. So this is actually a winning matchup for Empoleon. However, I've seen Dragonites with Charizard in the back to cover the Fairy weakness. So what I'm going to do is swap into my Gallade after the Dragonite has absorbed a Drill Peck. I swap into my Gallade, and I'm not going to shield any of these moves. It is a Dragon Claw, and it does a lot of damage, but not enough to warrant a shield. They swap into an Escavalier, so I'm going to go for the close combat here. And my opponent does shield. And because I got an extra confusion through during their charge move, I'm actually going to shield in kind and go for this close combat. My opponent double shields. I can't come in with my Venusaur because Escavalier resists all of my Venusaur's charge moves. So I'm going to come in with my Empoleon, and they swap into their Dragonite, perhaps to catch a charge move, but it doesn't work, and it's actually allowed me to gain extra farm, so I have a Hydro Cannon ready. My opponent came in with an Empoleon, and I thought that they came in with their Escavalier, so I probably should have stored the energy. But it actually works out because this Frenzy Plant is going to be enough to KO. Actually, my opponent survives at 1 HP. I can't even see the HP that they have. They survive at almost no HP and get off the Drill Peck, putting on my Venusaur in the yellow. And I'm just able to get to the Frenzy Plant against the Escavalier. It is double resisted, unfortunately, so it is not enough to KO, and my fast moves aren't doing much damage, so my opponent is overloading on energy and throwing their charge move, but I'm just able to take it out with my Empoleon. Good game and well played. In this match, my opponent leads Tangrowth. So Tangrowth beats Gallade and Empoleon. However, it is a pretty neutral matchup. So what I'm going to do is tank the Power Rip, go for my own Drill Peck. It deals super effective damage and puts the Tangrowth pretty low. So I'm going to come in with my Gallade now and go for the Leaf Blade, knowing that they're almost at a charge move. And they actually do shield, and it was a CMP tie. So I'm going to hold on to my shield advantage now. And I take out the Tangrowth. And my opponent comes in with their own Gallade. So I come in with my Empoleon. And I am going to shield this move because I need to get at least one shield from my opponent with my Empoleon. And they tried to catch a Drill Peck onto their own Empoleon, but I am storing onto my energy, and I swap into my Venusaur. So the Frenzy Plant does not KO the Empoleon because it takes neutral damage, and so my opponent rips off a Drill Peck, and that does neutral damage, and I'm just able to farm down the Empoleon and throw the Frenzy Plant at the Gallade, and I'm just able to, at 1 HP, get to another Frenzy Plant onto the Gallade. Good game and well played. In this match, my opponent leads Escavalier. So this is pretty tough since Venusaur and Empoleon lose to Escavalier, and Gallade doesn't have the best time either. So what I should have done here is baited the close combat with Leaf Blade, because now I won't be able to reach a second close combat, so spending the shield was kind of pointless, and I was one confusion away from the close combat. So I decided to let my Gallade go down, and I'm going to come in with my Empoleon, shield once, and completely farm it down. And my waterfalls from the Empoleon are doing just about as much damage as the super effective counters from the Escavalier are doing to my Empoleon. So I completely farmed down the Empoleon, and in the back is a Machamp, a Shadow Machamp. So I tried to catch a Cross Chop onto my Venusaur, however, they store onto their energy, and in the back is a Shadow Swampert. They go for Earthquake and it nearly KOs, but I'm just able to farm down, and I'm capped at 100 energy at basically no HP. And I'm gonna go for back-to-back Frenzy Plants. They shield the first one, and the second one takes it out. Good game, very well played, and close battle. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot if you pressed the subscribe and like button. I recently noticed that 90% of my viewers are not subscribed, So if that is you, please consider making the red button gray. Anyways, happy battling. Peace.